better future is built by the brave, envisioned by brilliant minds, born from the passions of thousands strong. One that isn't without risk, but protected from it. Safe from all the worries and secure for what's to come. Because a better future with the greatest empires, the strongest communities, and the happiest families will always be worth having. That's why the bold and the fearless understand that recreating something better takes courage and strength. So together, let's start shaping a better future today.
This is a world we want to live in. Where everything is in harmony and working seamlessly, where we can create beautiful experiences with the right choices and discover new ways to enjoy life. Strong day one connectivity that helps home productivity and business operations. Stable and secure hotspot in public places and 5G mobile-ready connectivity. A place where we can build not just better businesses, but braver tomorrows. Collaborate, communicate, innovate, and progress with on-site or work-from-anywhere setup. Interactive and seamless virtual learning experiences, accessible health consultations, and unlimited entertainment options. An environment where families feel safe and comfortable doing things together, enjoying daily activities with utmost accessibility and ease. Where we get to nurture every experience with a strong sense of community. A life that's simple yet rich with wonderful experiences. Remote yet closer than ever. Manifest their dream into reality. Own the future of spaces today.
What if your everyday is easier? What if your tasks are faster? What if you never have to chase due dates ever? What if your life is safer? What if your dreams are higher? What if kaya mo na? GCash gives you secure payments, real-time money transfers, accessible financial services, exclusive deals, and a full suite of business solutions para kaya mo na sumabay sa takbo ng buhay. Kaya mo na to stay connected. Kaya mo na magbayad anytime, anywhere. Kaya mo na mag-buy and sell. Kaya mo na to get exclusive deals. Kaya mo na magpera padala. Kaya mo na gawing safe ang future. Kaya mo na abutin ang pangarap. Kaya mo na makatulong, magbigay ng pag-asa. Kaya mo, GCash mo.
Good morning, everyone. We will be starting in a few minutes.
This is a world we want to live in. Where everything is in harmony and working seamlessly, where we can create beautiful experiences with the right choices and discover new ways to enjoy life. Strong day one connectivity that helps home productivity and business operations. stable and secure hotspot in public places, and 5G mobile-ready connectivity. A place where we can build not just better businesses, but braver tomorrows. Collaborate, communicate, innovate, and progress with on-site or work-from-anywhere setup. Interactive and seamless virtual learning experiences, accessible health consultations, and unlimited entertainment options. An environment where families feel safe and comfortable doing things together, enjoying daily activities with utmost accessibility and ease. Where we get to nurture every experience with a strong sense of community. A life that's simple yet rich with wonderful experiences. Remote yet closer than ever. Manifest their dream into reality. Own the future of spaces today.
A better future is built by the brave, envisioned by brilliant minds, born from the passions of thousands strong. One that isn't without risk, but protected from it. Safe from all the worries and secure for what's to come. Because a better future with the greatest empires, the strongest communities, and the happiest families will always be worth having. That's why the bold and the fearless understand that recreating something better takes courage and strength. So together, let's start shaping a better future today.
This is a world we want to live in. Where everything is in harmony and working seamlessly, where we can create beautiful experiences with the right choices and discover new ways to enjoy life. Strong day one connectivity that helps home productivity and business operations. Stable and secure hotspot in public places and 5G mobile-ready connectivity. A place where we can build not just better businesses, but braver tomorrows. Collaborate, communicate, innovate, and progress with on-site or work-from-anywhere setup. Interactive and seamless virtual learning experiences, accessible health consultations, and unlimited entertainment options. An environment where families feel safe and comfortable doing things together, enjoying daily activities with utmost accessibility and ease. Where we get to nurture every experience with a strong sense of community. A life that's simple yet rich with wonderful experiences. Remote yet closer than ever. Manifest their dream into reality. Own the future of spaces today.
What if your everyday is easier? What if your tasks are faster? What if you never have to chase due dates ever? What if your life is safer? What if your dreams are higher? What if kaya mo na? GCash gives you secure payments, real-time money transfers, accessible financial services, exclusive deals, and a full suite of business solutions para kaya mo na sumabay sa takbo ng buhay. Kaya mo na to stay connected. Kaya mo na magbayad anytime, anywhere. Kaya mo na mag-buy and sell. Kaya mo na to get exclusive deals. Kaya mo na magpera padala. Kaya mo na gawing safe ang future. Kaya mo na abutin ang pangarap. Kaya mo na makatulong, magbigay ng pag-asa. Kaya mo, GCash mo.
This is a world we want to live in. Where everything is in harmony and working seamlessly, where we can create beautiful experiences with the right choices and discover new ways to enjoy life. Strong day one connectivity that helps home productivity and business operations. Stable and secure hotspot in public places and 5G mobile-ready connectivity. A place where we can build not just better businesses, but braver tomorrows. Collaborate, communicate, innovate, and progress with on-site or work-from-anywhere setup. Interactive and seamless virtual learning experiences, accessible health consultations, and unlimited entertainment options. An environment where families feel safe and comfortable doing things together, enjoying daily activities with utmost accessibility and ease. Where we get to nurture every experience with a strong sense of community. A life that's simple yet rich with wonderful experiences. Remote yet closer than ever. Manifest their dream into reality. Own the future of spaces today.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of you to our webinar on Globe's digital acquisition solutions. We hope that through today's session, you'll discover how these solutions can help you cater to the emerging needs of not only your tenants, but also your internal team, such as sales agents and brokers in the better normal. Hi, my name is Martin Fausto, and I will be your host for this webinar. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. So before we begin, let's do a quick poll and see who we have in the room with us. All right, so we'll be asking you questions and you'll be seeing a pop-up in front of your screen, and please select your answer. The first question, what new thing did you learn during the pandemic? Cooking, baking, becoming a plantito or a plantita, online shopping, or using e-payments. Please submit your answer so we can have a better idea who we have with us here today. All right, let's give you guys a few more seconds. I would personally answer cooking and baking. Talagang lumabas ang aking pagka-chef-chefan thanks to YouTube University. All right, let's please show the answers. All right, so 57% online shopping. So tamang-tama, no? December na, malapit na magpasko, talagang kailangan talaga natin itong gawin. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Next question. For 2021, no, for this year, what is the biggest organizational change in your company? Right, so what has been the biggest organizational change in your company? streamlined operations, transition to cloud, shifted from offline to online marketing campaigns, or invested in innovative technologies. Okay? So talagang we experienced a lot of changes, not just from 2020, but also in 2021. So what has been your experience? What changes have you felt or have you done this year? All right. So let's please flash the answers of our attendees. All right. So it's an even split, no? We have shifted from offline to online marketing campaigns. That's what you would see all throughout social media and even through websites, YouTube, and the like. All the marketing campaigns you could see there, and not so much siguro on TV or even billboards. And we even invested in innovative tech. Yan, tamang-tama. And what you would be learning for this morning is other ways to make the customer buying and even the customer experience even better as we do our business. Okay, next up. Next question, please. Which technology trend? Okay. Next question. We have which technology trend do you think will have the greatest impact on our industry over the next 2 years? Guys, just a bit of perspective. No? In a few months, we've already experienced a pandemic for 2 years. So you would think, no, parang that's a long time, but it's actually a short time. So we have Internet of Things and intelligent home technology, AR or VR, machine learning, AI, or big data. Give it a few more seconds. All right, let's please flash the answers of the room. Okay, so Internet of Things and intelligent home technology. I think it's even connected to what we said a while ago on online shopping of how we upgrade our homes since we spend more time in these spaces. So thank you everyone for answering. We have a better idea who we have with us today. So I think we are ready to start. So to open today's session, we have the conglomerate sector head of Globe Business, Mr. Dominic Tria.
Good morning to each and everyone, to our partners who are present here today. Happy holidays in advance and welcome to this wonderful event this Friday morning. Before anything else, I'd just like to say thank you to all of you who are present here for again finding time from your busy schedule to be with us. And of course, to those who were present here yesterday, maraming salamat. We really appreciate seeing you here again this morning. So guys, this is the second day of our roadshow on transitioning to a better normal for the real estate industry. This is really reinforcing our commitment that in Globe Business, it's our mission to cater to your needs and demands as an industry by equipping you with the knowledge and the solution that can propel your business towards new and greater heights. Since last year, we've been doing a lot of inciting sessions with different organizations and with you to ensure that we capture all your challenges and all your pain points as we face this black swan situation that we're in today. These insights provided us with different views that highlighted the need for companies to now rethink their business model and redefine their business direction through the use of actual customer insights. In fact, adopting this new perspective can eventually lead to new revenue stream or improvement, optimization of your existing processes. As you are all aware, and this is already acknowledged today, that the majority of businesses are becoming more and more conscious on the urgent need to radically change to go digital. The term digital transformation is becoming a priority, not just to keep up with the demands of the customer, but more of to survive this new age of business. However, the transformation drive poses a heavy challenge to some. For instance, limited face-to-face transaction with prospective buyers may have significant impact on your business. So It is in this light that we want to assure you that we will be with you in this journey as you create a better normal for your respective customers through the help, of our digital acquisition solutions. So today we are very, very much excited because we have invited our digital transformation experts that will share with you various solutions that will seamlessly integrate internal and external workflows for a better buyer and seller transaction experience. These are all uh, relevant topics that you can certainly take and put to use in your respective organizations. So will not take too much of your time. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you find the topics insightful. So, with that, have a good morning and enjoy the rest of the session.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dom. I'm sure everyone's excited to learn about Globe's solutions that will help improve your internal and external operations that will be beneficial for potential buyers and your teams. This is, of course, in line with reinforcing our commitment to cater to your needs and demands. If you have any questions during the presentations, please feel free to use the Q&A box so our speakers can address them. You can find that button at the bottom part of your screen. Now, allow me to introduce our first speaker. Joining us this morning is a UST alumni with over 25 years of experience in the IT industry. He has been in various IT sales positions with extensive exposure to advanced routing and switching, IP telephony, automated supply chain solutions, website creation, and many other implementations that help companies fast-track their digitalization process. Everyone, let us welcome Yondu's Business Development Director, Mr. Don Dennis Mina.
Hi, Martin. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Hi, Don.
I'm sorry.
Good morning. Yes, good morning
to everyone here. So, allow me to share my screen first prior to my presentation. By the way, happy Friday to every one of us here present in this session. So, can you see my screen now, Martin?
Yes, this is clear. Yes,
Great,
Don.
great. So, to start with my presentation, allow me to introduce myself first. I'm Don. I'm the Business Development Director for Yondu, which is a 100% wholly owned subsidiary of Globe. Basically, we are the company in charge of customizing and developing applications for different companies and individuals. And as is consistent with our topic for today, we're here also to share our insights in order for us to better inform all our real estate partners how they may harness technology and maximize their potential for their businesses. But before I do that, let me share a bit of a backstory here. As you can notice in my first slide, I'm highlighting that your buyer's pre-purchase behavior has really changed. Why do I say that? Well, as introduced by Martin a while ago, 6 to 7 years ago, I was a sales manager for a website creation company, which usually produced both static and dynamic websites. Back then, about 6 to 7 years ago, we were closing new deals for new websites at a rate of around 3 dozen per month. But more importantly, about a dozen of those month per month were coming from forward-thinking real estate agents, condo leasing agents as well, enterprising real estate sales groups also. However, all that it did for them, despite putting up 5-pager websites for them, by 5-pager websites, what I'm mentioning here are the usual pages: home, about us, our projects, our clients' testimonials, and contact us page. All it did for them mostly was to give them additional credibility in terms of their presence in the real estate space. What we noticed though back then was visitor traffic was quite low, mainly because they were forward thinking, they had a good vision, but back then peer views and peer reviews were not quite the thing yet. But fast forward to now, that's peer review is quite important, and as differentiated between well, the age of people today versus mine. Dati, nung bata pa ako, pag sinabing window shopping, you really go to the mall or you really go to the brick and mortar place, check out the stuff there, get lost in the sea of all the merchandise, and spend hours uh, at every visit in order for you to just glance and ultimately not buy anything almost on a regular basis. But now, web browsing is the new window shopping. And even for home views, there is quite a large shift in terms of looking at homes, looking at houses, looking at house designs. Even as mentioned by Martin a while ago, if you check out YouTube University, even house designers just like Slater Young has a very sizable following in terms of him showcasing his house designs. And even celebrity vloggers now take us on house tours, home tours, and the newly built and about to be built houses that they're about to uh, have undertaken. And thus, what we're noticing is that three-fourths of potential home buyers in the country right now are really considering buying from a company that would help them control more of the processes through digital tools. Um, Versus the usual purchase considerations from before, where customers really put a premium on the three categories, which are touch, see, and feel. Right now, the see part, prior to buying any merchandise or buying any home for that matter, requires for them to see the homes first online prior to visiting those first. And as consistent with any merchandise purchase decisions, the touch and feel part can be warrantized after. So they can purchase online, receive the items without having touched or felt them yet, and with the comfort of having the items given a warranty, they can easily return it once they consider themselves not too pleased with what they receive. So given that behavior and new behavior and preference of your potential buyers, we see that there is that huge opportunity for you to come up with uh, having to consider a customized property buying site for you. This is not a transactional site that we're talking about, but mainly for that matter, a reservation system for you to be able to utilize, and also one that could help you track and monitor the leads that you're getting from your website visits. So what does it do? Well, we at Yondu, we've done it before, and we think this is going to be spreading the trend for realtors in the near future. It would greatly help you to have a product catalog that's available online that can give you a single repository for all projects that you're pushing towards your potential clients. Well, what it does for you, of course, it's very capable of giving you the capability to locate and view properties online for your potential buyers. It gives you the ability to custom the filtering functionality of your sites. And for your visitors as well, it gives them that power to filter through neighborhoods, developer brands, any preference with regard to search that they may have in terms of size of house, location, quality of amenities that are immediately available within the neighborhood, and so on and so forth. Also, as with the current home tours that are available online through vlogger experiences, a 360-degree virtual walkthrough would be helpful as well in providing for them that convenience of being able to be in the property itself. As mentioned a while ago by Dom, we understand that there are limitations right now with regard to face-to-face transactions. And of course, giving that capability for your potential site visitors to have a walkthrough of the properties that they're interested in would be of great help to them prior to their major purchase consideration. Of course, besides the walkthrough that you're able to proffer to your potential clients, we have the technological capability to provide for you an inventory holding system as well. This provides you with that ability for your potential buyers to be able to reserve for themselves that particular property that they may want to choose or purchase later on. It gives them that availability to view and have a single repository of all projects and companies. And for you as well, that control with regard to handling your pop-up advertisements, changing the layout of the properties that you would like to push eventually, um, provide your clients or potential clients with that comprehensive view. And ultimately, with you as the administrator, you can easily navigate and manage reservations, see for yourself the kinds of leads that you're able to pull, the kinds of users that you're going to allow, and of course, ultimately, the kind of content that you're going to be able to push towards your potential buyers. So we have that technological capability to deliver it to you. And also, with regard to project maintenance, we can give you that capability to view and manage all existing projects. And as part of the content management system that we're going to be able to hand over to you, you will be able to keep creating new ones, new contents, new relevant information, and new relevant pictures, updated walkthroughs, updated sites and locations as well. We can also help you with regard to your capability to pull reservations. By that, what we mean is we will be able to provide you with a module that can show for your potential clients that list of all the reservations made, and with you as well, the ability to track and categorize the leads that you're able to pull. Of course, it's more important now more than ever, mainly because there are very limited engagements face-to-face happening with regard to real estate agents' day-to-day activities as well. And also, the capability for you to physically walk them through different properties of their choosing on a daily basis is still very, very limited at the moment. And thus, in order for you to be able to sift through the quality, the different types of leads that you're able to gather, we will help you out with providing you with the proper categorization of your leads, a real-time view of your existing potential buyers, and immediately and real-time, we will help you manage all the information associated with them, their contact details, their preferences, their demographic level. To that level, we can give you that level of visibility and granularity of information in order for you to be able to determine where you will concentrate your efforts in terms of closing potential deals as well. Of course, what's important for you as the main administrator of the real property system that we can deliver to you is the ease of administration. It's important for us to be able to give you that comprehensive control and visibility. And if you're a leader of a particular real estate sales team, if you're going to share control to different types of users or different types of agents, we can give you that granularity and differences in the level of access per user basis. So basically, that's it. With regard to the trends that we're seeing in the real estate space, it's important for the agents, the very enterprising sales teams, in order for them to have that capability to categorize their leads, pull in more interested potential clients, to have that capability to showcase their projects, highlight their testimonials, make visible the kinds of projects that they were able to finish, make available the kinds of available properties that are open for reservation. And thus, we would very much like to invite you to talk to us at Globe. Let us know what your needs are, how we may help you, And with regard to what we've just shown, tell us which particular feature set you're very much interested in order for you to be able to have a better pool of potential leads, have a better traffic inside your online presence, and let us know how we may be able to help you turn your great ideas into reality, because we're here at Globe to help you uh, improve your business and reach your maximum potential for the betterment of your uh, business and goals and objectives. And with that, thank you very much. And I'll turn it over to Martin again. Martin?
Thank you so much, Don, for that. Before you let to go, I just wanted to ask one question.
Sure.
With the different property brands that you have worked with, what's like a common misconception or a common probably mistake that we do whenever we try to pool our leads together?
Well, the common misconception is that the leads are sources of sure sales already. Of course, leads are leads. You can qualify them, you can categorize them, but ultimately, in order for them to finalize the deal, so to speak, it's still important to have that personalized service afterwards, because the key to appreciating the categorization of the leads is in order for them to pitch their sales pitch properly based on the personalities involved, the kinds of people that they're addressing, and the needs that they need to be able to address or capture. So there, basically, what happens after the lead pool is key in order for them to be able to maximize the potential of that lead and close the deal eventually.
Yes, thank you. And I think that really starts with asking questions first before providing solutions or selling to leads, let's say, what features you have. And I think with there,
Agree.
we have one question in the Q&A. Maybe Dawn, you could answer this
Sure.
before.
One good question is if the website can be integrated to their internal system. The answer is yes. The key, of course, is we will have to have some scoping sessions in order for us to find out what tech stacks we need to be able to integrate to, what system particularly it is, if it's custom built or if it's an out-of-the-box solution. Definitely, we can consider the tech stack needed or required in order for us to properly integrate our system with yours.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much again, Dawn, for sharing a more efficient way in showcasing property brands and automating process flows for better client engagements. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Martin. Here to help.
All right. So as we use digital technologies to change our business model, what do we do with this value producing opportunity? Well, this is where marketing comes in. With us this morning is a digital marketing expert who will talk about capturing customer buying intent and how we can reward engagement. After our speaker earned his bachelor's degree in journalism from the University of the Philippines, he went on to focus on digital marketing as his career path. He brings with him a decade-long experience in digital strategy, search engine optimization, content marketing, and marketing strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Director for Traffic Operations at AdSpark, Mr. Gene Lander Agor.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Let me just quickly share my screen. And do let me know if you can see it. All right. So hopefully you guys can see this. So I'm going to be talking about capturing intent and rewarding engagement this morning. As Martin mentioned, I have been working in the digital marketing space ever since day one of my decade-long working experience. Previously, I have been handling media and creative strategy for AdSpark, but currently I am the maiden incumbent traffic operations director. AdSpark is one of 917 Ventures portfolio companies. We are a purely local digital marketing agency, and we are uniquely placed in the market because of our unfair and differentiated connectivity foundation. 917 Ventures is part of Globe's total ecosystem, and as such, we have capabilities that no other local agency can actually render as part of its services. And this kind of ecosystem also spreads out across different capabilities. As part of 917 Ventures, although AdSpark has unique capabilities within the ad tech space, we also have unique capability offerings powered by our sister companies. From a fintech perspective, such as Gcash, a health tech perspective with Consulta MD and Health Now, and an e-commerce perspective with PureGo, and a data and loyalty perspective with Rush. I'll talk about how these integrations with our sister ventures actually come into play from a total ecosystem when it comes to rewards and engagement. But before that, I want to focus on what happened during the height of the pandemic, right? These are just quick background slides on how everything changed during the start of the pandemic and even up to now, for that matter. When AdSpark did its Spark series webinar late last year, one of the things that we were able to identify from the get-go was that everything has become centered in the home yet again. So because everyone was stuck in their homes because of the pandemic, whether from a work from home perspective, a studying perspective, and even from a day-to-day, living environment, right? The home has become much more important. And this has given rise to a variety of different new behaviors online. And I want to focus on what we have identified through our AdSpark Intelligence study, which is basically AdSpark's proprietary capability of using social listening, internet consumption data, search trends, and online surveys to actually identify how online consumer behavior has changed. And during the pandemic, we have identified 7 key trends, but I will be focusing on the 5th one, which is the busy homebodies. During the start of the pandemic, and this was mentioned earlier, there has been an increase in interest across home-related improvements, from renovations, a new fashion trend called pambahay chic, the rise of plantitos and plantitas, and everything in between, which is basically about improvements within their home experience. And that has given us this unique mindset now that as we centered ourselves back to the home because of the pandemic, there is no doubt that a market for buying a better home has developed and is continuing to develop for that matter. We do understand that real estate has been severely hit by the pandemic in its early onset, forcing a lot of companies to actually drop down their offerings, focus on maintaining interest, focus on maintaining an acquisition play. So there will be sustained interest in their offerings despite the challenges that the pandemic brought. But with this brewing interest, how do we effectively engage that? And that gives us the rewarding experience, which is very important to our end customers. It's a unique and emotionally connecting way for us to sustain that interest and reward and strengthen brand loyalty. Sorry for that. So with the pandemic rise, it's already a given that a lot of people have migrated to like online solutions and online activities to actually improve their means of day-to-day activities. One of which is, of course, a payment system. And because of that, there has been an increase on contactless rewards and loyalty systems. So e-vouchers have become much more prevalent during the pandemic. There's around the 65% increase in time spent looking for the best possible deals. There's also an increase in the use of discount coupons and a likelihood of purchasing a product online if, for example, there is an accompanying discount voucher or offer voucher with it. So overall, loyalty and reward has become a go-to experience for a lot of end consumers. And this cuts across various industries, not just for the real estate industry, but also for, well, so much so for like the end consumer in terms of like fast moving consumer goods, etc. But it cuts across. And this behavior is not going anywhere. With the rise of the purchasing power coming from the millennial segment, basically the older millennial segment specifically, we have to adhere to their kind of mindset in which for us to be able to properly engage them, they should be getting something back from the brand first, and we should be rewarding the engagement that they are giving us. So millennials nowadays really seek new and easily accessible loyalty programs with the brands that they follow. And this is why AdSpark has created its Ad Reward Suite, which is basically an interactive technology and loyalty rewards program, which can help brands redefine customer experiences virtually. The main goal of Ad Rewards is for us to be able to encourage action within our online channels and drive participation in these channels, thereby giving our end consumers a delightful experience, whether that's through free data or load, exclusive vouchers with partner merchants, and even GCash vouchers and credits. So when it comes to the ad rewards offering that AdSpark can actually give to you, we have broken it down to three major categories. First would be the essentials. During the start of the pandemic and up until now, we all agree that the ubiquity of market aggregators such as Lazada, Shopee, and Grab has become an indispensable part of our daily lives. On an average weekly, I'm sure most of you guys here would always open your any one of these apps to either order online food, something that you would buy for your home, groceries, etc. And that has become a standard behavior already. And we don't see that kind of behavior going away anytime in the future, but rather becoming part of our daily activities already. And so we have identified these aggregator marketplaces as essential reward components, meaning because of their ubiquity in usage, it will become more valuable in how our end consumers would use it. But we also recognize that there has been a rise in concern about our health and wellness overall. And so we have also included in our essentials list our health and lifestyle offerings as rewards, mainly driven by Health Now and Consulta MD. And with the rise of online activities, connectivity has become even more important for the day-to-day activities of our end consumers. And so we recognize that telco rewards still remain very pivotal in actually engaging our end customers, whether that's in the form of SMS, load, or data promos. And that's something that we are also able to offer exclusively for Globe and TM subscribers. More uniquely is the rise of GCash. I'm sure everyone in the room right now would have like a GCash account one way or another. And I am willing to bet that in the last 24 hours, you were able to do a GCash transaction, whether that's buying load, sending money, paying for your online delivery, or transferring credits to either Grab, Shopee, or Lazada. GCash has become very important in the day-to-day financial activities of the Filipino. And so we also recognize that as GCash grows as a financial platform, it's also become very useful for our end customers to have a GCash reward experience. And that's something that AdSpark is also able to bring to the table. We are able to exclusively give out GCash rewards in the form of GCash exclusive vouchers or outright GCash credits. So far, these are the three major categories that we can offer as rewards. But what are we going to be doing with these rewards? There are several channels that you can actually reward your customer base. It can be via SMS, it can be via chatbot, it can be via website. In terms of effectively setting up these reward systems, they can be used in a variety of manner. First, it can be used for a tactical or long-term implementation. Depends on how you set up your reward system. It can be a tactical promo play, or it can be a long-term loyalty program that you can set up. It can also be part of your total loyalty stack, especially to fuel and feed your CRM programs. So CRM programs are very important for the real estate industry, because what you want to do is nurture your customer base as much as possible with every transaction that they do with you. And in part of that, the reward system of AdSpark is also scalable, depends on your customer engagement plan. So from every step of the user journey that you want to partake in, whether it's a short-term promo blast that you want to do for a particular time period, or a long-term um, plan that you want to reward your agents with, for example, an ad reward system is actually very beneficial in either setup. So what AdSpark will be helping you with is to set up your reward system, meaning identify the best possible reward that you can offer depending on your target audience, set up the disbursement system behind it. So whether you want the journey to be based via an SMS integration, a chatbot integration, or a website integration, the actual disbursement and implementation mechanics, do you want it to be based on a purchase journey, a registration journey, or a transactional journey? And of course, reporting. If you want to understand the kind of transactions that your audience actually frequents and the best kind of rewards that they would frequently look for, the whole campaign report will give you an idea around that, thereby fueling your other loyalty programs or CRM programs. So we've taken a crack at potential user journeys that could be applicable for the real estate industry. I do understand that the example here is an FMCG brand, but this is just to like illustrate how the potential user journey can be. But one of the user journeys that we can explore is via instant gratification. It can be as simple as from an outright purchase user journey. So for example, if an end consumer avails of a package, they can be given a unique alphanumeric code by their agent. Once they receive their welcome pack as a new owner, that welcome pack could have a QR code printed on it. They could scan it to get redirected to a microsite wherein they enter the alphanumeric code that was given to them. And then after doing so, when they submit that code, they could actually select and determine the reward that they want to get, or depending on the alphanumeric code that they receive, it could be a predetermined reward already. So it's kind of like an additional reward experience for your end consumer after they buy a particular product from you. And what this brings to the table is that you reward the engagement of them buying, and it gives them this particular satisfaction as well, that you are willing to step up the after sales experience for them by giving them a freebie or a reward experience that they could enjoy. Another user journey that you can do would be based on instant gratification plus a raffle component. So I do understand that for real estate industries, it's very important to develop a lead generation pool, a pool which you can like remarket to, discuss upcoming developments with, and even supplement it with remarketing materials. And most often than not, it's very difficult to create this pool because a lot of them opt out, a lot of them generally prefer to not get updates from time to time. But there is a way to engage them should they choose to opt in into your system and be part of your lead generation pool. So an example of that is, for example, if your brand has an existing chatbot in your social page, we can run a lead generation promo or campaign for them, wherein via the chatbot, once they opt into it, they will automatically receive a unique promo code just by registering their details. After which, they could be redirected to a microsite again, and then further input their details alongside the unique promo code that they receive via the chatbot. Once they're able to input their details, they receive an OTP verification and they become part of a raffle pool. So just by taking part with this lead generation kind of experience, they are automatically joined into a raffle program, which we can break down into like instant gratification raffle experiences, or by the end of the raffle promo could be part of a grand raffle draw. So there are several varieties that we can uh, work around to actually explore that kind of route. But the idea here is that whenever they take willingly take part to like impart their data to you, we could reward them by uh, adding them to a raffle draw component. And then the last user journey that we can explore for the real estate industry would be from a points accumulation perspective. So I do understand that a lot of real estate companies would have their in-house amortization plans offered. And what we want to do is for our end consumers to at least pay in advance, or if not, a little bit ahead of the deadline that they have, right? And this kind of behavior can be reinforced by a reward program as well. So every time they are able to pay their monthly amortization, for example, ahead of their deadline, their agent could give them a unique code, and that unique code can be used to register and earn points. In this kind of user journey, the more that you're able to do the same transaction over and over again, the more points you're able to accumulate. And those points can be exchanged for a particular reward eventually once you have the right number of points. So all it takes is a one-time registration using the particular promo code. And then each and every time that you would do the same transaction in this example, to pay your monthly amortization ahead of time, you will generate points around it, which you can check via SMS or via chatbot. And then after which you can exchange that for a particular reward as well. So in terms of engaging the intent that we want to establish and reinforcing the behavior that we want to achieve, that is really where ad rewards brings its strength. Because what we want to do first and foremost is to spark the interest with an engaging offer. Second, we want to sustain that interest with continued usage. And lastly, with that continued usage, we are able to build loyalty with reinforced behavior. And hopefully, this kind of reward engagement scenario will establish the behavior that we want for our audiences. So that actually brings me to the end of my presentation on capturing intent and rewarding engagement. Would be happy to answer questions should there be any.
All right, thank you, Jean, for that. I believe you have a question here at the Q&A box.
Sorry, I'll just read it like real quickly. Hi, we have a monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual incentive programs to our agents and brokers. Will there be new digital rewards to boost excitement with the sales team? Yes, so depends on the frequency that you want to start with. You can actually design a rewards program with increasing value. So for example, for a monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, those would have varying kinds of SKU rewards that we can offer. So for example, for a monthly reward, it can be as simple as a Grab voucher. For a quarterly, wherein it's a longer time period, you can increase the reward to a combination of higher SKU vouchers with Shopee or Lazada. And then for your semi-annual and annual, it can be outright cash, right? Meaning it's kind of like a commission-based na rin to your sales agents, since GCash can offer credits, which is basically good as cash. And by having those differences in reward SKUs, you can build that excitement with your sales team. So parang every time that they're able to reach a particular milestone in a particular time period, the reward that they can expect can increase in value. And can be closer to a cash value, without you having to really give them quote unquote outright cash. Since I do understand some companies, they have like limitations on that. But yeah, I think that's one way that you can adopt digital rewards to boost excitement to your sales team.
Great. Thank you so much, Jean. And it was a very interesting session. I like what you said about people being centered in their home and having new behaviors online as busy homebodies. Again, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, so it's really high time to take advantage of these digital marketing tools, especially leveraging on top mobile app platforms such as Gcash in engaging not only potential buyers, but as what Jean also mentioned, your own sales agents and brokers as well. So before we move on to the next speaker, I'd like to give everybody a chance to do like a quick stretch, quick break. And after this break, now we'll be giving away a couple of items at the end of the webinar. So make sure you stick around. Again, we'll be having a quick break. So we'll see you in a bit.
Manong Fishbowl ang tawag sa kanya. Everyday siya kung dumating. Kaya parang institusyon na siya dito sa area namin. Minsan, sobrang late na. Andun pa rin si Manong Fishbowl.
Ginagabi kayo, Manong!
Enrollment eh.
After some time, yung kariton ni Manong Fishbowl nadagdagan ng may bike.
Hanggang kabilang kalye, nagtitinda na rin kayo, Manong?
Pang notebook.
Sunod na taon, pati menu nadagdagan.
Nax, may squid balls na!
Mahal kasi ang lapis. Ikik ka pa dyan.
Bilib na bilib ako kay Manong Fishbowl. Akalain mong yung maliit niyang kariton, napalaki niya ng ganun? Ang nagagawa nga naman ng pangarap ng isang magulang.
Manong, anong grade na ba yung anak nyo?
Tagal nang tapos sa mga bata. Ako naman ngayon.
Manong Fishbowl ang tawag sa kanya. Pero sa mga araw na yun, many years ago, higit pa sa fishbowls ang binigay niya sa akin. He taught me na walang di natutupad na pangarap sa taong handang magsumikap.
Dami niya na.
Panghapunan.
Pantoga.
Atin ang pangarap. Atin ang pagsisikap. Atin ang mundo. Globe.
All right, atin ang mundo, no? So we are back, and before the break, we listened to Dawn's talk on how to customize property buying sites and Jean's insights on attracting customer buying intent and how to reward engagement. At Globe Business, we want to help you create a digital ecosystem that is both convenient and efficient. We hope that through this session, we'll be able to provide solutions to plug customer experience gaps and enhance the customer journey, which is why our next topic is sales and customer care onboarding. This will be covered by our partners from Third Pillar. First, we have Mr. John C. Filler. John C. is a graduate of UP Diliman and has been handling IT sales and marketing for a little over 20 years. He's currently the channel partner lead at Third Pillar. Joining him is Mr. Alfonso Castro, the head of Solution Consulting. Alfonso's been in solution consulting for over a decade and has aligned customer strategy to business solutions for communication systems integration, ERP, and CRM. Currently, he is innovating process improvements and crafting solutions for customer success with Third Pillar's clientele across different segments and industries. So good morning, gentlemen. John C. Alfonso. Glad that you could join us this morning. So I'll be handing over the microphone to you.
Good morning, Martin. Thank you for having us. All right. So for this portion of the event, we'll be talking about our CRM solution on how we can do a sales and customer onboarding for real estate companies. So we'll be quickly talking about third pillar and a Salesforce introduction, and then we'll do a quick real estate solution overview of what we'll be showing, and then Alfonso will go in through a quick walkthrough of the platform. So third pillar is actually a IT consulting company that's about 8 years old. Globe Telecom invested in us last year and they bought majority stake. So now we are a subsidiary of Globe Telecoms. They were actually a customer of ours for about 3 years before they decided to make that acquisition. And the acquisition was really based on our CRM or our Salesforce business, because they wanted to increase their ICT solutions into CRM space. So that is the reason why they acquired us. So third pillar now is the largest Salesforce Gold partner in the Philippines. And we have over 120 successful implementations throughout various companies in different industries. So this is what gives us also in-depth Salesforce implementation experience. And if you can see, these are some of the companies that we've been working with throughout these years. And if you've noticed, there are a couple of real estate companies in there as well. And so a quick introduction of why Salesforce and who Salesforce is Salesforce is the #1 CRM in the world. So if you see the graph by IDC below, it shows 5 years that they've been steady as a #1, but they've actually been #1 in this space for about 12 to 13 years already. And basically, it's because of their focus on the CRM solution. Unlike the other bigger players down there, they normally have other products and services, but Salesforce is really focused on CRM. And although the Salesforce platform is very powerful and very easy to use, basically what they really want to do is make sure that the customer is at the center of everything. They build their solutions around making sure we know who the customer is, making sure the engagements and interactions with the customer is tracked and done well. So be it a small or a medium or an enterprise account, you can actually start your Salesforce journey at any time because this is very flexible and scalable. And since it's a cloud solution, you can actually use the work from anywhere, work from home, the functionality of this as well. So just a quick overview of what the solution will be. So it's a sales and customer onboarding solution that we can actually implement in about 3 weeks for real estate companies. It's really just to help the sales teams track leads, make sure they're converted, and be able to forecast revenue properly. So I'll let Alfonso give more details on the platform as he does the overview of what we can set up for companies.
Thank you, John C. So good morning, everyone. Once again, my name is Alfonso, and I'll be walking through the sales and customer onboarding solution that we have with Salesforce and Third Pillar. Today, I'll be walking through two roles, basically, to give you an idea of how that would be on a day-to-day basis and how we can get value into making them more productive and close sales faster, close the most important sales, and so on. So we'll start off with the account manager. The journey usually begins around, of course, the creation and the nurturing of the leads. Once the lead is a little bit more serious, we can convert that to an account contact and an opportunity, which are the discrete sales cycles that are involved with the sales process. Those in we can add the properties that the customer is potentially interested in, and from that we can send consistent by having it be generated by the system. And then finally, once we have an agreement with the customer, we can start doing our onboarding activities, go through the onboarding checklist, make sure that the customer has the required documentation and activities within the system, so that we can have that true customer 360 view of their journey from being a lead to a customer and their multiple purchases with us if we are so fortunate. A separate process that we can look at if we do have the time is to create cases. So cases are basically customer concerns that they raise with us. And these concerns, of course, need to be addressed in a timely manner. And the sales account manager would be able to address those and track those so that the onboarding process can continue in a seamless fashion. And then once all of those activities are being recorded and transacted by your sales, the manager can basically look at the performance of these sales account managers through real-time reports and dashboards, so that he or she will be able to have an idea of the performance at any given point in time. So let me go ahead and switch over to my live demo environment. So let me walk through that particular process with you guys. So this is my Salesforce demo environment. It's pre-populated, pre-configured demo environment. So you may or may not see some artifacts here that may not necessarily apply. But for now, we're looking at the real estate. So of course, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to start off with the leads. Leads can come in multiple ways. We can upload it from website, potentially from the earlier from Yondu. It can be from your marketing leads generation presented earlier by AdSpark. We can all bring all of those in as leads, and we can then have our account managers handle those leads as necessary. For the purposes of this demo, though, I'll go through or I show how to create a lead like manually, right? So if I'm an account manager and I meet a potential customer, I can also bring that lead in myself. So all of these fields are already pre-configured and defined within the real estate data model that we have created. What we found, which was relevant to our other customer in the real estate industry as well, are the qualification information. So we have all of these fields already set up, but we can also add additional if there are needed. That's coming from your lead generation portal or your website. All of these would be put in here so that the account manager has this information at the tip of his or her fingers, so that they will be able to understand and pitch the correct information or the correct property for that particular customer. So this can be a condo, house and lot, and so on and so forth, and of course the city and the location. So this would allow us or allow the account managers to properly pitch the correct property to the customer. So I'm not going to go ahead and create that. We'll just dive into one of my pre-seeded leads here. So in the lead here, we have the process flow, the lead process flow, starting, of course, from open and uncontacted, working, and then finally, whether it's not converted or converted. As I mentioned before earlier, converted means that this lead is a little bit more serious for him or her potentially buying a property from us. So all of the activities can be logged here. We can put in tasks, we can log in calls and send emails directly from here. I'll go through that a little bit later on. And within the details, of course, we have the personal information of Mr. Michael Matthews in this case, phone number, contact, mobile number, email address, and so on and so forth. And of course, the qualification information that I sent earlier. Once we start working on Mr. Michael Matthews, we are able to send emails, log calls, get in touch with Michael. We can then go on to the conversion process. This conversion process, as I mentioned, allows us to convert it to a lead, to an account, contact, and opportunity account if they're representing a particular company as well, or this can be, let's say, a company of brokers. The contact, of course, is the name of the customer, and then the opportunity is the individual sales cycle. I'll not go through that process. That takes a few seconds. I'll just dive directly into a demo opportunity that I have. So this demo opportunity that I have is now for a company called Trek. Has the amount of 10 million, and I'll show you how that was reflected. But this record was automatically created from the lead as well. Once it is converted, it takes the information from that lead record to the opportunity record, so that the account managers need not re-encode the same information more than once. Captures the qualification information, and then some reservation information, or basically the onboarding checklist that we'll go through a little bit later on. So once we do have that opportunity, we can see a similar process flow from prospecting to qualification to, in this case, we're in the proposal or price stage rather, and then we can move all of that to closed. So as you can see here on the right side are related information as well. I have added the property already. I'll show you how I did that in a bit. And then I also uploaded a file just so you're able to see that the files are also here as well. So this allows us to have a true customer 360 view of the customer, not just in this particular opportunity. If we go back up to Trek, we'll see the list of opportunities, the files that are there, as well as the contacts here. So the contact or this particular opportunity is being sold to Miss Ruth Vetter, and we'll be able to see what that is in terms of the quote. So as I mentioned earlier in the process flow, within the quote is where we can sell this to or put in our property and generate that quote for the customer. So again, a similar process flow here. The property is also here that I have added. The properties themselves can act like an inventory of what's available to be sold in particular locations. We can just add on the property, type in the name and the product, and the price will be shown here as well. Once we have added that property, we can then just create a PDF, which I already have here. The PDF is templated so that whatever properties and values are selected, it will be automatically plugged into the template, so that the templates are consistent regardless of who's generating them and who's receiving them. All of those will be made here. So from here, I can also create an email. These emails, much like the PDFs, are generated quickly and automatically. I can just type in the email address here, or use the email address from the contact earlier. I can attach a file here, which is, let's say, the demo code that we have created, and much like the PDF, I can insert a template so that the messaging is consistent, as I mentioned earlier, regardless of who's writing and who's receiving the message. Once that opportunity is, or once this quote is, let's say, accepted, we can mark that as the current status. We can go back to the opportunity, and let's say that the customer has accepted it, and then we can mark the stage as closed. From here, we can then move on to the onboarding. All of these stages are after the closed one. We can start off with down payment, filing transfer and titling, and so on and so forth. And we can move, for example, to transfer and titling. And from the details, we have that particular checklist as well. After the qualification information, we can put in the reservation status, whether they have paid, ongoing, or canceled, how much the reservation fee is. Down payment is also here, whether it's a lump sum or in 12, 24, or 36 periods, and the amount is here as well. And finally, the titling, transfer and titling checklist that I have here for when we have the status of the transfer and titling. All of these documents are received or not. And once they are received, as I mentioned earlier, we can put them in the notes and attachments so that we have a view of this particular opportunity. Once I click on save, that opportunity amounting to 10 million has already been logged into the system and will be made available to the managers so that they can have a view of the performance of the company. And that is done through sales, through dashboards and reporting. So I'm showing this dashboard to you right now. As I mentioned earlier, that 10 million that we have is actually not this one. This one is a previously closed opportunity. Once I click on refresh, the values should automatically change. Okay. Seems like there's some problems with my internet. So from there, it should reflect the dashboard here correctly to 20 million. But from here, the customer or the manager will be able to view the performance KPIs in real time as well. So that actually brings me to the end of my walkthrough. With that, all of those activities being done, our account managers will be more efficient. They will be able to prioritize the correct opportunities, the correct leads at the most opportune time, and then the manager will be able to see the progress in real time as well. So this brings me to the end of my walkthrough. Thank you very much for your time. I think there's a question in our Q&A panel, wherein our agents are always on the go. Is this mobile ready? Absolutely. Salesforce is 100% cloud-based, so this can be accessed through the browser, as I have showed earlier, as well as through a dedicated mobile app or through a browser through that mobile app. Another question that just came in is that, can this be integrated to our internal systems? Yes, and much like a website, for example, that Don discussed earlier, the extent of which we'll have to understand what sort of systems they are, whether they have their corresponding APIs that we can call. We'll have to figure that out so that we understand the effort that underlies wherein. But definitely, Salesforce does have that open API as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Alfonso and John C, for that walkthrough. It's really amazing how a single platform such as Salesforce for real estate can help organize relevant information. It's easy, when you showed us the walkthrough. It'll help us track leads and even until the sales closure and buyer onboarding. So thank you so much, Alfonso and John C, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you. So far, we have a beautiful website, the marketing campaign's up and running, and we've done our onboarding. So what's next? After all that work, I'm sure most of you will have piles of paperwork on your desks that you need to sign or have the client sign or even route to the big bosses for approval. Well, here to talk about digitizing transaction agreements is the Director for Partner Ecosystems at Docusign. He has been in the technology industry for over 15 years, with the past 8 years focused on deploying technology solutions to the real estate space. He currently oversees Docusign's real estate industry partnerships team, which works to deploy products, partner integrations, and go-to-market strategies across the residential and commercial segments. We are fortunate to have with us this morning Docusign's Director for Partner Ecosystems, Mr. Wes Womack. Good morning, or maybe should I say good evening to you, Wes?
That's right. It is evening where I sit, but good morning to the rest of you. So thank you for having me. Let me just share my screen here. Is everyone seeing full presentation mode?
Yes, visible.
All right. Well, thank you, Martin, and thank you to the entire Globe team for hosting such an informative and relevant discussion. As I mentioned, or as was mentioned, my name is Wes Womack. I lead partnerships for some of our key verticals here at Docusign. If you're not familiar with Docusign, we are the world leader in electronic signatures. So we help businesses transform their paper agreement processes to legally binding, digitally signed agreements. Over the past several years, I've seen firsthand the growth of e-signatures in real estate. So I'm excited today to share some of what makes this technology particularly relevant and useful for your real estate business. So I think we can all agree, I'll just start off. I think we can all agree it's been a crazy couple of years in the real estate industry. At least here in the US, last year broke several records after a brief downturn, including the most home sales in the past 15 years, the highest average sales price, the fastest times on market, highest year-over-year price growth, lowest inventory on the market. It was pretty much a case of name a record, and the US property market was beating it last year. And one of those key shifts that we saw was in the amount of technology use in real estate transactions. And that really dramatically accelerated in the past couple of years, to where I believe that this record-breaking market really couldn't have happened without technologies enabling much of the purchase and sale process to be done remotely. So everything from finding homes online to remote home tours, scheduling inspections, and signing agreements, closing deals digitally is now done largely through online technologies. So some of the side effects of that is greater convenience, greater speed, greater accuracy, transparency to the real estate process. These are all huge benefits to buyers and sellers. So even now, as the pandemic restrictions are starting to fade, at least they are here in the US, we're seeing sustained use of all of these technologies. So we believe that many of these benefits are showing that these trends are here to stay. Some specific examples of these trends, most relevant to Docusign and to some of the digital transaction processes, involve clients really fully embracing a digital transaction experience instead of meeting with agents to sign agreements or to even tour homes or to review transaction documents. So the first stat here, Redfin, one of the leading US real estate brokerages, noted that requests for virtual home tours, where agents will show a home over FaceTime or Zoom, was up around 5x year over year last year. So we heard more about this earlier on from Dawn at Yandu, but it's really interesting to see how much that really jumped when the pandemic kicked in. And again, a lot of that is continuing today. The second stat here, Inman, the leading US real estate news source, reported that 60% of their readers are using digital transaction management tools more now than they did before the pandemic. So they're starting to see a huge uptick in digital transaction management tools. And finally here, the National Association of Realtors found in a survey that they did last year that 62% of clients believe it's essential that agents and brokers offer the ability to e-sign documents through the transaction process. So like I say, as long as brokers, agents, clients will all benefit from completing transactions and paperwork without having to meet in person, we expect these trends to continue. So let's just quickly dig a little deeper into the transaction process and where agreements come in. Now, I'll admit I don't have a ton of experience in the local requirements for real estate transactions in the Philippines, but I found that one thing is true universally, and that's that someone needs to sign something, and usually several things, prior to buying or selling or even leasing real estate. So often at every step of the process, as you see here, agreements are involved. Everything from finding the clients to submitting offers, due diligence, ancillary services like appraisals and arranging home insurance and a mortgage, through the pre-closing, file review and signing processes, and then finally the closing process. There are dozens and sometimes hundreds of agreements to complete with various parties. And underpinning each of these transaction steps are a series of agreements and agreement processes that have mostly been manual until recently, and maybe they are for your business still today. Manual agreements, we find, waste a ton of agents' time. It frustrates clients, it slows down the deal, and it introduces human error and compliance risks. And there are real costs to these manual processes. For example, real estate documents signed with paper take 25 times longer to be signed than with e-signature. That's admittedly one of our own stats that we found, but we find that to be true, that e-signatures just go a lot quicker. 58% productivity loss there in the middle. That's really another way of saying it takes about twice as long, as much time and energy to deal with printed agreements and pen and ink signatures. So all this means that customer and agent satisfaction suffers, which may lead to fewer repeat customers, or for companies considering these dynamics across their entire team, maybe it's harder to attract and retain good agents. So the Docusign solution, primarily e-signature, but also our robust APIs and pre-built integrations into hundreds of softwares, really helps to improve this overall experience. With Docusign, the systems can be more connected. Agents don't have to paper out their agreements, meaning they don't have to print out and then fax or scan or sign, mail them around, but agreements can stay digital. This accelerates the closing and allows data and documentation to flow in and out of the systems that hopefully that you're already using. So to say a little more on Docusign e-signature, as I mentioned, this is the #1 most trusted, most used brand for e-signatures worldwide. More than 82% of the agreements that go through our system are signed in less than a day, and 50% are signed in less than 15 minutes. We have about 99.9996% uptime, so there's no scheduled downtime. This is a service that is always on. The sun never sets on Docusign's customers at this point, so we find that there is really no good time to take the system down. So the system will always be there day or night to complete your deals. We have incredibly high bank grade security. We have a mobile experience. It's available via Apple and Google Play, and it has an average of nearly 5 out of 5 stars. It's important to note here also that anyone signing a document through Docusign signs for free, right? So where we charge our customers are the people who are sending the documents, but your clients, usually the ones doing the signing, there's no downloads needed, nothing to pay for. They really just need an active email address, and anyone can sign something through Docusign. So a little about who we work with, specifically in real estate. Docusign works, like I say, worldwide, across the entire real estate process, from lead to close. This is not just in residential real estate, but we work with commercial real estate firms, with REITs, with home builders, some of the biggest owner-operators and the smallest owner-operators out there. Pretty much, I like to say, anywhere that something needs to be signed, we can accommodate that. So we obviously have use cases, digitizing agreements across the transaction, through mortgage, through title, all the way through the closing. We also have, like I say, a number of integrations. We have about 350 integrations total, but you can see a handful of them specific to real estate there along the bottom. Some of our biggest listed there, sort of Apple, Microsoft, Google, Salesforce, connect to some of the more popular systems that our customers use. One recent example that we can speak to is the Sotheby's offices in Sydney, in Australia. So Sydney Sotheby's went into the COVID pandemic about like everyone else. They were rushed out the door and sort of promised they'd maybe be returning to in-person work in a few weeks. But then as the pandemic wore on, they recognized that they needed a way to continue to process lease agreements, transaction paperwork, even new employee paperwork, since they weren't meeting in the office. So they adopted Docusign across their business. And by far the largest benefit was the speed and ease with which they're able to deliver and complete signed agreements. And that can be with clients across town, out of state, because there are state borders closed in Australia still, and even in other countries. So they've reduced the time that it takes to complete deal paperwork from about 3 days to about 3 hours on average. And they've also inadvertently made their office a little more green and sustainable. They've eliminated 80%, so nearly all of their paper use, and reduced their needs significantly to be couriering and shipping agreements around. So to summarize, there are real benefits, both as we navigate the ongoing COVID restrictions and into a post-pandemic world where businesses are realizing the time savings, the customer satisfaction, and the compliance gains from digitizing their agreements and making e-signatures a part of their customer experience. To many, this may seem like a relatively small change to your business, but the impacts that this can make are huge when you consider that this may just be the key to your next successful sale. And it'll certainly result in considerable time and energy savings for your agents and your clients and your business. So with that, I encourage any of you to reach out to your Globe account manager to learn more about Docusign. and how you can get started. Or if you've already started with Docusign or with these signatures, perhaps we can talk about how to expand those use cases into other parts of your business. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Wes. Right, so that's 58% productivity loss, and I think we just have time for one question.
Absolutely. Let me stop the sharing here. How can Docusign assure that there will be no cases of tampering? That's a really good question. We have incredible security measures within the product. It's actually fully encrypted, 256-bit encryption. So whether your documents and data are at rest or in motion, they're fully encrypted. So it's an incredibly secure system. We sell to banks and governments worldwide. So we've had to meet incredibly stringent requirements for them to make sure that there is no tampering and that the document is incredibly secure. So if you wanted to learn more about the technology, definitely reach out to your account manager. Happy to continue to field those questions on how the technology actually works to make sure that nothing is manipulated.
Great, that's very reassuring to hear. And thank you again for sharing how Docusign's e-signature solution can aid in accelerating agreements of approvals for a more efficient management of documentation. Again, thanks, Wes.
Thank you.
All right, so I'd like to thank again all our speakers this morning, Don, Jean, Alfonso, John C., and Wes, for all your insightful presentations. Of course, we'd like to thank everyone here today, you guys, for attending our webinar this morning. In Globe Business, your feedback is crucial in how we craft our sessions, which is why I'd like to ask our guests to please answer the feedback form, which you can access via QR code on your screen. So as a token of your honest feedback, right, we would like for you to please answer these, and we'll be giving the first 12 survey responders the following. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing the link in the chat box. As a token for your honest feedback, we'll be giving the first 12 survey responders the following. So as you see on the screen, we have the wireless earphone of 0917 Lifestyle, and for the next 10, we'll be giving away 500 peso electronic gift cards, which you can redeem at 0917lifestyle.com. I was actually just checking the website, and there are t-shirts. There are so many cool stuff that you can get, not just for yourself, but also as a gift if ever you win this electronic gift card. All right. So as a reminder, for our first 2 winners, the Globe marketing team will reach out to you via email for your delivery details. And for those who won the e-gift cards, your codes will be sent directly to your registered email address. All right, so please take the time to answer the feedback form. And would like to invite you to watch out for our upcoming event by Q1. It's already December 3. Literally, isang tumbling na lang 2022 na. We have an event in Q1 next year on another pillar of Globe Business's real estate solutions, showcasing 5G and IoT technologies to future-proof properties. All right. So for more information about our upcoming activities or questions about the solutions we presented today, please feel free to reach out to your Globe Business account managers. Again, this has been great, very interesting. Actually, on a personal note, I've learned a lot. This has been Martin Fausto, your host for today. Stay safe, and together, let's own a braver tomorrow. Maraming salamat for joining us today.
Cast a spell on me. You hit me like the sky fell on me. And I decided you look well on me. So let's go somewhere no one else can see you and me. Turn the lights out now. Now I'll take you by the hand you another drink. Drink it if you can. Can you spend a little time? Time is slipping away from us make you glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. You came. You cast a spell on me, spell on me. You hit me like the sky fell on me, and I decided you look well on me, well on me. So let's go somewhere no one else can see you and me. Turn the lights out now, now I'll take you by the hand you another drink. Drink it if you can. Can you spend a little time? Time is slipping away from us, so stay with me. I can make you glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. So glad you came. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came.